Do you know the difference between hard light and soft light? On this episode of Keep Filming, we continue our Lighting Basics series with part 2, Quality of Light. We're going to show you the difference between hard light and soft light and how to control them. Hey there, I'm David Day with Adorama TV. When working with lighting, you may hear the term quality of light. In its simplest definition, quality of light refers to how hard or soft a light source is. You may be asking, what is a hard light? What is a soft light? Well, they both illuminate your subject, but are achieved differently. Let me first explain the difference between hard and soft light, then show you the principle behind how to achieve them. A hard light produces crisp shadows with a hard distinction between what is lit and what is unlit. Since hard light typically has no diffusion, it is very directional, with bands of light shooting out in parallel lines, hitting the subject at the same angle, which is what creates those well-defined shadows. Some examples of hard light sources are the sun on a cloudless day, a tungsten light, or a light bulb without a lampshade. Now, the opposite to hard light is soft light, which creates subtle shadows that have, wait for it, soft borders, while having a smooth transition from light to shadow. Soft light sources are typically achieved by taking a hard light and spreading it out over a larger surface, usually with a light modifier. This diffuses the light, giving it a wider spread. As opposed to hard light's concentration on a subject, soft light can almost be described as area lighting, as the light covers a broad area and wraps around the subject. The larger the spread, the softer the light will be, and you'll be able to light more of the scene. How hard or soft your light is all boils down to this simple principle. Quality of light is dependent on the size of your light source relative to your subject. The smaller the source is relative to your subject, the harder your light will be. The larger the source is relative to your subject, the softer your light will be. However, the distance of the source to the subject can affect its relative size too. Still confused? An example that I always like to use is the sun. Its diameter is over 860,000 miles across, which is gigantic. However, it's also 92 million miles away, meaning relative to the subject, Earth, the result is a very small light source in the sky, making it a hard light. But when the sky is overcast, you're essentially turning the entire sky into a giant diffuser. So instead of the source being a tiny point in the sky, the entire sky is now the source, thereby creating a soft light. Keep in mind, the degree a light can be softened depends on a few variables, such as, like we just covered, distance, the size of the light modifier, and whether you're shooting through or bouncing off of that modifier. For more information on modifiers, be sure to check out part 3 of this Lighting Basics series. Now, each of these light styles has their advantages and disadvantages depending on what look you're looking for. If you're going for the bold, contrasty shadow look in a noir style or other dramatic film, you'll want to stick to hard lighting. Alternatively, you could light a whole scene only using soft light, but there could be a lack of dimension and contrast to your subject, and the results are going to look flat, which might work for a comedic or a lighthearted piece. In many cases, you'll need to utilize both hard light and soft light together. Finding a good balance is a necessity, though what looks right will change from film to film and setup to setup. It's all dependent on what the scene calls for. Now that you know the difference between the qualities of light, go back, watch your favorite movies, and identify them. From this, you can study how they used hard and soft light to convey a certain emotion. Use this as a starting point to lighting your own films and creating your own unique style. What are some of your favorite films in terms of lighting? I'd love to talk about them, so leave a comment below to get the conversation started. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to Adorama TV for more tips, tricks, tutorials, and videos like this one. Thanks for watching. Keep filming.